You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Next, featuring intimate and in-depth interviews with Black Hollywood's next edition of stars and influencers. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, next.
Hello, hi guys, happy Friday. Welcome to Black Hollywood Live. And next, our guest over here is looking at us like we're crazy because we were talking in sign language. No big deal. Just keeping ourselves entertained. I'm your host, Jessica King, also the producer of Fox's hit show, Dish Nation. Check it out. I am joined by comedian extraordinaire, Nick Perdue.
Hey guys.
And we have an amazing guest today. You may know him as Carter Walton on The Bold and the Beautiful. Please welcome Lawrence St. Victor. Woo!
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
We haven't scared you away yet.
No, I'm all the way in.
We're a little crazy, but we keep it entertaining.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, you have a whole hour with us.
Let's go.
All right, so, in these interviews, I always warn our guests, we like to dig deep. We like to really get to know you. By the end of this interview, we're going to be besties.
Cool. Let's go. Let's dig deep.
So you grew up in New York, Spring Valley.
Yes.
Did you know at a young age that you always wanted to go into acting?
Not really. Well, when I was 13 years old, my mom bought this book for me. Mm-hmm. But no, she didn't buy it. She was a teacher, and books were left over, and she gave it to me. And it was how to make it as a young actor. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't a big reader, but when I got that book, for some reason I had to read it. And I read it from front to back. I'm like, Mom, I need an agent. And she said no. So that kind of stopped until I was about 18 or 19. And
no, you're not getting an agent.
No, I'm like,
that's
right.
the end of that conversation.
I've always wanted to. I had an interest. I had a passion for movies and television, and I thought I just loved it as a fan. But it was more than that. And then when I turned 18 and went to college, I said, let's explore this, and fell in love with it.
Nice. Well, speaking of college, you went to SUNY Purchase, and you graduated with your BFA in acting. Why was it important for you to get your college education as opposed to trying it right out of the gate of high school?
Oh, wow. Well, my parents are teachers, so education was big in my household, and I didn't think twice about not going to college. And I was auditioning for some stuff before I had acting training, and I had my last audition. I was like, I suck. That audition was horrible. I'm not going on another audition until I get some classes, take some training. And a friend of my family's told me that at SUNY Purchase, that's where Wesley Snipes went. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, if Wesley went, I want to go. So I auditioned, and I got in.
Looking back now, what kind of things do you think you learned that have influenced your acting career that you may not have known otherwise?
Oh, wow, that's a loaded question.
We have time.
Well, at school, it was so much about the art and craft and the theater and the history of it also. So coming out of school, I just had this respect for acting, the respect for the craft, and I would never not be prepared because then I would be belittling the craft of acting,
Yeah.
So school gave me an appreciation for the art form. Yeah.
Very cool.
So now, and after college, or right out of college, really, you landed the role of Remy.
Yeah.
Right, on the Guiding Light. So because most people kind of struggle a little bit. So I'm sure you had some actor friends who were a little jealous, like, hey, you got on this soap opera. So what was that like? Especially what was that audition process like?
It was strange because it was unorthodox. And before I even went to SUNY Purchase, I went in as an extra on the Guiding Light, and I stayed in contact with the cast and director. And going to SUNY Purchase, it's a really good school. So I was doing a play my junior year, 6 Degrees of Separation, the part that Will Smith played in the film.
Oh, wow.
And I invited him out, and he came out to see it.
You invited Will?
No, not the cast and director. Will didn't answer my call, so
Man.
Will came out. No, the casting director of Guiding Light came out. Oh. And he saw me in it, and he loved me in it. And he said, I want you to come in for a meeting. And we talked, and, I was a junior in college, so nothing happened. Then a year later after that, the role of Remy opened up, and they offered it to me. But I read a year ago just a general reading with him and the executive producer. So it was from 2000 to like 2006. So it was like a 6-year kind of working. Yeah.
Had you even graduated yet when you were offered the role?
No.
Wow.
I got offered in January, and I graduated in May.
Wow.
So, and I was working while I was in school, and at Purchase, that's a big no-no. Like, you're not supposed to do that. So
Oh, really?
I would like dip out of class or come up with reasons why I was late or missed class while I was in the city shooting Guiding Light.
And no one saw you on TV?
Well, everyone's working during the day, and by the time people
okay.
started seeing me, by that it was like May. By the time people caught on to what I was doing, and then I was about to graduate. So
it's a no-no to act while you're studying acting
at that school.
Why is that?
I think because they want their actors to graduate. They want people to complete the program. I guess it makes the school look better if you did the full program, and then you go and become a big actor. Then it's like, well, I committed 4 years into this program, and you know, to their defense, my training wasn't complete as far as the curriculum. I still had more to complete, but you can't turn down.
Like,
come on,
like Spielberg wants you in a movie. Like, well, I can't because I'm in school. Sorry, Spielberg. Right? That's, you know.
And then you say it just like that.
Yeah,
like that.
Spielberg.
Oh, I can't. Spielberg.
Coming back in a year. So you credited, I apologize if I say his last name incorrectly, but Tom Pelfrey? Pelfrey, okay.
Yes.
And Stephanie Gachet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
That's a good one. That's a tough one.
See, that's what
I would've
me
said
not
Gatchet.
completing college. But you credited them to helping you out, especially when you first kind of got on.
It was very difficult. I mean, theater training, and when you're in that kind of acting school, it's all about preparation and process. You commit to rehearsal time, and then on daytime, more than any other form, more than prime time, more than film, the pace and how fast it is. And I got there, I'm like, what about rehearsal? What about and it's like, no, you gotta go in. And Tom went to a school similar to mine, Rutgers, so he kind of understood where I was coming from, and I would just lean on them until I figured out how to go that fast.
Was there anything that they said that really stuck with you that you've kept throughout your career?
Nothing that they said, just more their example, you know, just because a lot of people say stuff. But watching them and the other actors on Guiding Light too, across the board, all of them actually, just watching how they work. Because it's a beast. When you had doing an episode, or at the time we were doing like 2 episodes a day, and you know we have to have it in and locked. You know that's the way daytime works financially, is we get it all in. And it's just a crazy pace as an actor.
But. So you played the role of Remy for about 3 years, and ever since, throughout the years, you've been working pretty steadily. You're now on another soap, which we'll get into soon. But were soap operas your first choice of television production?
No. I mean, you know, at the end of you grow up, you want to be Denzel, you want to be Will Smith, and then going into school and understanding the business. That was a big part of my development, was understanding business, not just get caught in the art form. And it was like, to be a working actor, period, is hard. And soaps, I was like, I really enjoyed it when I did extra work and I saw how they worked. And then I saw the people that came from, Nia Long came from Guiding Light. I believe Taye Diggs was on there, Kevin Bacon, and James Earl Jones, I believe. So it's like seeing all these people come from this, and I get it. It's like if you do a soap opera, by the time you get on a prime, when I did Ugly Betty, I was like, why is it moving so slow? You know, when I did the films I've done, it was just like, wow. Like the last film I did was called A Path to Light, that should be coming out hopefully by next year. You know, they had a blooper reel at the rap party, and one of the actors was like, Lawrence, you didn't make it on the blooper reel. Because I didn't mess up the line. I'm used to having to do it.
That good.
No, see, you know, in daytime is one take.
Yeah.
You got to get it in one take, and after a while, you develop that, you know, that thing. So.
Wow, talk about pressure.
I know.
Yeah.
One shot.
That's
all you get. Was there ever a time throughout these years since you've graduated that you've had a struggle in the industry?
Oh yeah. I've worked pretty steadily, and Guiding Light was canceled on April Fool's Day in 2009.
Of all days.
Yeah, I know. Right?
You know, so between then, I did some films. I did a lot of theater. I did Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse and stuff like that. But you know, you just there's in between times. You're like, what are you gonna do? And
Yeah.
New York City's an expensive place to live, so you're
It
kind of
is.
like, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna, trying to grind this thing out? And,
Yeah. How did you keep yourself motivated through those sorts of times?
That's a good question. I mean, I've kind of been like all my eggs in one basket kind of guy. I don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
My parents were like, you should study this as a backup plan. I'm like, if I have a backup plan, then I won't do the A plan.
Yeah.
So there was nothing else. I don't think I'm qualified to do anything else outside of entertainment as far as, I'm like, what would I do? This is it. This is what I got to do. And I have a wife, so it's like I can't
Yeah.
fall back.
Right.
No turning back now.
No turning back.
So when the show was canceled, right? Because you said it was canceled on April Fool's Day.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Did you call a couple people like, is this a joke, or was it like, or did you know that it was coming?
Well, I was on set, and they sent us to shoot in Orlando, Florida, like the week before. So we were like, we're not getting canceled. We're good. They support us. And we were out on location shooting, and they were like, they brought us all downstairs. And I looked at the makeup artist, Helen, and she was just crying. And I'm like, oh, come on. And then they told us we got canceled. Another actor was like, if this is an April Fool's Day joke, I'm punching you in the face. But no, and it was all over the news and stuff, and it was crazy.
So you just stopped production. So you could have been like in the middle of a scene
We were
line.
we were in the middle of shooting. I wasn't shooting it. I was in the makeup room. But then we continued. We finished out the day after we got the news.
Oh, okay. So you still.
We still shot. Because our last episode we shot was like at the end of August.
Okay.
So we still had time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you guys are done. Pack up your stuff.
That's it. That's it. Lights are going out.
Yeah, we still had some time.
Gotcha. Now, did you want to do another soap? Like, was that in your head, like, as you were leaving, or was it kind of like?
I think just working was in my head, and that's a good question, because I wouldn't say no. I didn't want to do another one. It was just I just want to be creative and work, and I've been writing and developing my own stuff too. So for me, it wasn't about, is this a soap? Is this a play? It's like, I just want to work, Yeah.
Well, you now star on The Bold and the Beautiful, which is not canceled, which is
Not
great.
canceled, yes.
You play Carter Walton, the adopted brother of Marcus Forrester. How did this role come about for you?
I came out here for a producer's session for Y&R, actually. And I met with everybody. It went well. The role didn't go my way, but through that, they set up a meeting with Brad Bell, the producer of Bold and the Beautiful, and we just hit it off.
Wow.
We hit it off and talked about some of the projects. I developed a web series years ago called Wedlocked, and he really enjoyed it. So we talked a lot about that. So they, I guess they knew they wanted to bring on more of Marcus's family, and me and Texas who plays Marcus, favor each other as far as like, these guys kind of grew up together, you believe it. So they offered me the role.
What were your first thoughts when you read the role?
Well, that's the thing about daytime. You figure it out as you go. So when I first read the role, it was like, hey, Marcus, how are you?
Yeah.
Long time no see. And I'm like, okay, that's what I got. And you figure it out as you go,
Yeah. So by that time, were you ready to return to soaps?
Yeah, I was, especially having a project that brought me to L.A. I was in New York, so I was excited about coming to L.A. Wasn't sure when exactly. So having to come out here with work, and then on a show like this, because Bold and the Beautiful is very unique. I mean, it's the Bells. It's their baby.
Yeah.
No one else is jumping in there, turning it around. It's their baby. Their distribution internationally, like it's huge.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that, I'm like, is amazing. Like they're telling me when they go to Italy, like they need armed security because people are like rushing to their hotels.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, oh, why not?
So you're fairly recent LA transplant.
Oh,
And a
yeah.
lot of East Coasters, my family's from the East Coast, and a lot of East Coasters that I know aren't big fans of California. How are you liking LA so far?
Okay, that's a good question. I like it, and it's grown on me, but I was getting really homesick.
Yeah.
Because when the role started, it was pack up my stuff and come out here.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the transition of saying goodbye to New York. Like, you know, me and New York had a love-hate relationship, but it was a romance.
Yeah.
You know? And coming out here, it was great. I like driving. I like how chill it
I like
is.
driving.
I like driving.
Yeah.
I love that's like your number one.
It's my number
It's
one.
not the weather. It's not like
The weather's
driving.
awesome. The weather's awesome. But I do miss seasons. I miss, like,
Yeah.
We have seasons.
We do. We do.
Spring and summer. That's all you need.
We
You
have
don't
winter. It gets cold. It does.
Need, all you need is
okay,
spring and
let me
summer.
tell you. I was out here for the winter. And, yeah, it got brisk. It got a little brisk. Then I went back to New
You
York.
can't even say the word
and
cold.
it was cold in New York. And, you know, I miss the energy of New York and the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza's good.
Getting,
I'll give you
good
that.
slice.
I will give you that.
Come on.
There's
But no,
some
I
good
love
pizza.
LA. I love just being in the industry here and you know, meeting all the people you look up to. They're all here. And
Mm-hmm.
you see them, it just, you know, becomes more attainable seeing them do their thing. I bumped into Shamar Moore at this party. And it was like this cool, it was in my mind the passing the torch moment. But I bumped into him. He was really cool. And I'm like, that wouldn't have happened in New York.
Yeah.
Not like that, no.
Nick's getting all bitter because he's probably the only person you'll ever meet that was born and raised in LA.
Wow.
I bumped into Shamar Moore too. It's kind of weird. It's weird that he's everywhere. I'm like, it's weird.
Funny, I have the same
Yeah,
story.
we have to go to some. No, like I really like it's weird because he's just around.
He's a real dude.
Yeah, he's
He's a real dude.
nice guy. He's just around.
I have a friend that bumped into him at Kitson.
See, he's,
Random.
you know.
Yeah.
You're like, when does he work on the show? He's always on. So now you played Remy Boudreau, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For about 3 years. And so now that you've been on The Bold and the Beautiful, you played your current character, Carter, for about a year.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you kind of keep, not I'd say recreating the character, but how do you kind of keep the momentum going and, kind of keep them fresh?
Oh, man. I mean, we have great writers that always find things for our characters to get into. I mean, when I started the show, I was a lawyer coming to visit his brother. Then it turned out I came out to L.A. because I'm an aspiring actor. And then we kind of had this show within a show thing. So when they keep throwing stuff in there like that at you, every episode is like, oh, man, I didn't know I do this. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but is it easy to get too comfortable with the character?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I would say you could if you could. It's your job as an actor to keep investigating, keep digging in, and keep making it fresh and new. Yeah.
So the state of soap operas has been a little in flux, I guess you could say, in the past couple of years. There's been a
yeah.
few that have been canceled, and then there's some like yours that are thriving. Does that ever make you nervous?
No, because I've already gone through a cancellation. And, Guiding Light was at that time frame, it was the first one to get canceled like that within that genre of soaps. And, including radio, it was on for like 72 years.
Yeah.
So it's not supposed to get canceled like job security.
Yeah.
So when that got canceled, it was a blow. So now for me, it's like I've been through it already.
You just have a different mentality.
Oh, yeah. And appreciate every day on
Yeah.
set, every single day. Because, on GL, when you're on a show like that, and I just I negotiated my contract for 2 more years, like
Oh,
around the
wow.
cancellation. So I'm like, I got 2 more years. And I'm going to LA. And like, you're canceled. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Start planning things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to take that Bentley back.
The Bentley had to go back.
Can't fly private jet no more.
Oh, man.
Got to coach like the rest of us. So you created, or you co-created and co-wrote Room 8 with Karla Mosley and Bradley P. Bell.
Yes.
Right? And so it's an online series that follows the storyline of Bold and the Beautiful?
Yeah, sort of. So my character is an actor on the show, and the girl that he's in love with is an actress, and they both booked this web series called Room 8. Now, on Bold and the Beautiful, Room 8 gets messed up because the girl that I'm in love with, Carla's character, is dating a guy, but his ex-girlfriend hates her, so she sabotages the show. She wants me and Carla to fall. She knows I have feelings for her, and she wants us to fall in love. So she gets with the producer and starts adding like all these steamy scenes and
Oh,
longer
wow,
kissing
yeah.
scenes and stuff like that. So when Brad came up to us and said, if you want to create this show with him, our pitch was, can we do it the way it was supposed to be before it was messed up, which is more of a sitcom, more of a watching these two people who don't like each other start to become friends and then, maybe eventually getting together. And he was like, he went for it. So it is what was on B&B, but it kind of sits in its own world too. If that makes sense.
So, and because people can watch it on CBS.com.
Yeah, and if you type in room8theseries.com, it'll bring you to where it is on CBS.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so how did you, or I was like, why did you even want to get involved with doing web series? Because you talked about that you had a web series earlier.
Yeah.
So like, was that kind of like, I've done one before, so let me go ahead and do this too, or?
Well, in the last the last 4 years or so, I've written and directed short films, music videos for independent artists, book trailer for an artist, and have been writing short films and shot a pilot for a web series I'm still pushing right now. So as far as being behind the scenes, producing and writing, that's something I have a strong interest in. And when he came up to us with Room 8, it was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then I get CBS's support. Yeah. And I get to start it. No problem.
Man.
Works out for the best of it.
Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
So, The Bold and the Beautiful, you guys have won quite a few Emmys, and there's even a Guinness World Record for most popular daytime soap currently on TV. Do you ever feel like the pressure's on to be on such a successful show?
No. The pressure is when they make you take your shirt off so much, and you're like, I really want to go to Fat Burger, man.
We will get into that.
So the pressure, because when you're on a show called Bold and the Beautiful, and then you're there, it's like, I got, you gotta.
You always got to be on
step
your A game.
Like, yeah, all it. So I say that's where the pressure is. As far as the popularity, we're in the studio making it, so like we're in our own world creating. So what gets put out there, we recognize it at an awards show or during interviews, but outside of that, we're like in our own, corner.
World.
Yeah.
Well, you can keep your shirt on here.
But if you feel the need, it's kind of hot outside.
No, they can just tune into Bold and Beautiful. That's all.
But if for whatever reason, it's like 97 degrees this weekend, and
It is warm outside.
But that's why we have the AC on here. So go ahead and keep your shirt on.
Good question.
but no kidding.
What is next for your character Carter Walton?
Well, he wound up getting the girl that he's gone after. She wound up dumping her boyfriend because he slept with his ex-girlfriend because he thought she slept with me. And I proposed to her, and we're engaged to get married.
Wow.
But she's still kind of, I think she's still kind of in love with him. So
she's a little on the fence right now.
She's wearing my ring, but she's on the fence. So
that's what makes good soap opera.
that's what makes good drama. Come on.
So now, if you, because you do a little writing, so if you could write, let's say like the next 3 to 10 episodes, right? What would you write for your character?
Oh wow. Okay, this is the Bold and the Beautiful, okay? So any, General Hospital writers here, don't steal this idea. This is for the Bold and the Beautiful.
This is exclusively
Bold and the Beautiful. I would say that I would have him be aware of her feelings for her ex and have him confide in his sister-in-law. That's kind of only family he has right now because his brother's off in France working on some stuff, and in confiding with her, I would have them have a romantic slight flair because she's alone and he's kind of left her. And
that's your brother.
I know, but then me and her say no, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. I'm getting married. She's like, fine, yeah, you're absolutely right. But of course, when we kiss, her ex-boyfriend, who still wants her back, sees it, camera phones it, takes a picture, and at the wedding day, when the guy's like, anyone here have any reason why these two shouldn't get together? He shows the picture, and my brother's there as my best man.
We have to get this to the bells.
Wow.
We got to get this.
That's my dream scenario.
Wow.
I've thought about
I would
this
watch
before.
that.
I see.
I
see.
mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like a plot line to me.
It's a hot mess. It's about to go
It
down.
is. It is.
Yeah, you got the drama in there. You got the love in there. I mean, I'm glued.
Yeah, I would probably start watching soaps.
We'll have to see if this happens. There's a good chance it won't happen.
Yeah.
But something good will happen in this place.
Hey, you never know, because like something may just happen. Like next year, something happens. Like, oh, that was kind of.
But if we see this storyline on Days of Our Lives, we know.
Oh, we're going to
Exactly.
go after
We know.
them.
Yes.
Not cool. Well, like you mentioned briefly, you've had some really cool guest roles. You're on Ugly Betty, you've been on Law and Order, you've been on For Better or Worse, Tyler Perry's show. But soap operas are obviously a lot more fast-paced than TV, as you said before. Which format do you prefer?
Wow. That's a dangerous question. Because if I say something else, you know what? I prefer both because For Better or Worse was extremely fast too. Tyler doesn't play; he gets it in. But there's something precious about the artwork in acting when you're doing something that takes more time because you just have more time to finesse it. There's more time to talk about it. But there's also something about daytime where the pace means get out of your head. It's not about you. Commit to the work. Make strong choices first. It's like doing theater. So I would say they both have a place in my heart because, soaps is the closest thing to like doing theater outside of doing a play. So I think I
Cool.
cheated. and
Yeah,
said-
you kind of didn't directly answer the question, but I'll
Good
let
answer,
I'll
good
let it
answer, good
slide.
answer, right?
Good answer.
Great Family Feud.
What is it about soap opera? What is the most challenging thing about working on a soap opera?
I guess, what you get used to the pace. So the pace it isn't challenging anymore after a while. I guess the most challenging thing is, it goes every single day. So there's shifts that happen in your character that could be abrupt that, you didn't see coming as an actor, and you may not agree with as an actor, but you have to justify it. And that could be a little challenging because, it can go from 0 to 60 because, they're creating stories that can go on for the next 300 days
Yeah.
as opposed to just 22 episode arcs and then break and then figure it out.
Yeah.
So it can get kind of rough and you're like, he would never
What?
do that,
Yeah.
But then we get out of our own way and we just do it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Of all the roles that you've played, I mean, you've been in quite a few things. What has been the most fun character to create?
Oh wow! I did this play off Broadway in New York with Kevin .com. He's on 30 Rock. He's one of the guys out there. We did a play, and it's about these Haitian refugees who stow away in this ship, this coffee bean ship that comes to the U.S. because they're trying to get away from Haiti in the 80s. And they all wind up dying in there. But when they die, they're visited by this slave, this American slave, African-American slave, who helps them on their course. And each character is different. And my character, before he dies, is kind of like focused. He's kind of, trying to be the leader. But then when he dies, you see the real him. And he's like this juvenile, playful, slightly manipulative, get under your skin kind of guy. And it was just fun because, I had to master the accent. And I'm half Haitian.
Yeah.
So it's cool to kind of get into my roots. That was
cool.
the most fun recent one.
Nice.
Yeah. So now, what would be your dream role? And then who else would you want, to play alongside you in that role?
Wow. Okay. I have 2 dream roles. Is that okay?
No, it's
I
not.
guess.
Man. It's tough out here.
Jeez.
Okay. If they ever made Superman black,
Okay.
I'm all the way in.
I could see that.
I'm all the way in.
I see Black Superman.
I can see it.
And if Morgan Freeman played my dad, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
In that one.
Nice.
Like a Leroy Kent or something. Yeah.
Leroy Kent. There you go. And the second one would be something a little more grittier, more edgier, like when I saw Fruitvale, touch me, rip me apart, but I also thought as an actor, what a time to have as an actor to like go to this place and be the one to tell this
Portray the
story.
story.
You know, it's sad, but there is something, you know, amazing in being the one chosen to bring this story to people, something like that.
And do a great job at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael did his thing.
Yeah.
Michael did his thing. So you also work with this organization called Speak.
Oh, that was years ago. Yeah.
Okay, you used to work with an organization called Speak.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with them?
Oh, well, it was back in college. It's friends of mine. We had a Bible study, and we decided to just make it, you know, permanent while we were there and a little bit afterwards, and just commit to just the conversation. You know, a lot of times I'm Christian, and a lot of times as Christians, there's this judgmental, by the book kind of deal, and that cuts off conversation. You know, everyone comes from a different place with a different learning, and there should be a place we can just talk without anyone being judged or ridiculed. So that was kind of what that was for us.
And then now, you know, because especially in Hollywood, you know, and even in Black Hollywood, do you think that it is important to really, you know, maintain your faith and stuff as a Christian man, you know, because with all the stuff floating around?
Absolutely. I mean, it just even you know, being out here, and even back in New York, anyone who's pursuing something that's, you know, a challenging career path where there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of downtime, you know, having to just be left to your own resources of how you come up out of it or how you inspire yourself seems a little too hard for me. So I'd rather lean on something I know will always encourage me and fuel me, you know. So, yeah, I mean, you know, there's rough times in this career.
Yeah.
Having something as a foundation like that can just keep you standing tall.
It's true.
There you go. Now, you are a comic book fan.
All day.
Right?
All day.
So was this like a childhood thing? Is that how you got into comic books?
Yeah.
And so, like, what is your favorite comic book, and then what was your first comic book that you got? Wow. I know. See that?
Oh,
My first
taking a bet.
comic
See
book.
that?
Taking a bet.
Oh, my gosh, man.
You still have it, or does mom still have it, like, in a box in the
My
garage
mom
somewhere?
would be the first one to throw stuff away. If I'm not looking, it's gone. My first comic, I'll say comic style book was back in the day, He-Man used to come out with these books.
Oh,
yeah.
He-Man.
You know,
yeah.
and that's the first one I remember reading where it was like, or not reading, but looking at the pictures. He-Man. And my favorite, that's hard. My favorite one would have to, right now, The Walking Dead is serious. The comic book is serious, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now here's the question. You ready?
Yeah, come on.
Batman, Superman, Meteor Man, or Blank Man?
Woo!
I had to throw a couple brothers in there. You know,
Wow. Well,
Gotta make it diverse.
yeah,
Make it a little diverse.
diverse.
Superman. He's the granddaddy, you know. He's the only reason why all the other superheroes are where they are. But, you know, Blank Man's there.
Right?
Blank Man's definitely there.
You got that?
I was a fan of Blank Man. So,
I
you
love
know,
Blank Man. As a kid,
Yeah.
I love Blank Man.
Yeah.
Well, when you're not acting or buried in comic books, you're also quite the athlete, right?
I try.
Football, swimming, martial arts. Is sports kind of a passion for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so being athletic, being able to do. My dad was big and still is big into football. He coaches football now. So, like, athleticism and eating right was always in my household. He never let me put whipped cream on my ice cream. It's like, no, it's too much. It's too
Missing
much.
out. Missing out on life.
Dude, no, I get it in now. You know, so he always, and he eats so clean. So I just kind of adopted that. And when I turned 18, I was like, you know, I played a lot of sports, but like I said, Dad, I want to get it in. You know, I spent the summer with him in our garage, and it was
Serious.
crazy. But yeah, it's like just to be in shape, you know, as we get older.
Metabolism slows down.
Hey, I don't want to feel old, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't want to, you know, I would ask, you know, older people, like, when's the last time you felt the sensation of running? Like, the last time you ran or did a cartwheel?
A cartwheel.
And you're like, oh, cartwheels. Probably like 30 years ago. I'm like, 30 years ago was the last time you did a cartwheel? So I never want to be in that, you know, when I'm 60, I want to be able to
do a cartwheel.
Do it. Why not? Man.
Could you imagine just like randomly walking down the street, see this old guy doing cartwheels?
I'd be like, yes. Yes.
How did you get into martial arts?
I was picked on by a bully in the first grade. It's kind of the Karate Kid story. I was picked on by a bully in the first grade, and I started taking martial arts. And then one day he picked on
You're
me
like,
again.
I'm not going to let this happen again.
And I kicked him. And he stopped being a bully. We became friends after that. And then, you know, I loved it. And, you know, as a kid growing up, especially like in the 80s and 90s, it's like martial arts and karate films and all that. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to do all the stuff they can do.
Cool.
Yeah.
You like Steven Seagal, huh?
Steven?
You're a Steven Seagal.
He's
guy.
all hands.
Yeah, exactly.
He's all hands. I like little kicks in there.
He's all hands and belly now. That's let me stop.
So when I was Googling your name. Okay, so one of the first things that popped up was Daytime Confidential's Shirtless Soap Hunks of September list. And as you know, you made the list. You mentioned this a little bit earlier. Like, what is that like, seeing yourself shirtless all over the internet?
Weird. That is weird. It's weird because, you know, every so often you Google yourself. And you look at the pictures, and when like a lot of them's like with no clothes on, you're like, what do I do for a living?
I have shirts.
I have clothes. It's weird. And I think it gets really weird if it ever becomes normal. Like if it ever, that's normal.
That's just how they know, yeah.
No, it's weird, but you know, it's cool. It comes with the territory. It makes me keep myself in shape. It's weird when I have a love scene and my grandmother's watching.
Oh my gosh.
That's weird. That's weird. When she calls me and say, "Yep, I had to look at the floor. I had to look at." I'm like,
don't worry, I didn't watch.
But it's daytime soap, so they don't really show anything. You know, it's not too grotesque.
It's not. But
Just the insinuation of.
But when we were doing the Room 8 stuff, the girl was putting stuff in the show to sabotage Karla's relationship. Like, Karla had to like lick spaghetti sauce off of me, and like, you know, so it's not crazy, but there's suggestive things that.
Yeah.
Hey, your grandma's like, "Wait, some good spaghetti sauce."
What are you wasting that spaghetti sauce?
To look at the floor.
Well, you briefly mentioned a little bit about the pressure of having to eat right all the time when you just want a burger. Is that always in the back of your mind, knowing that you might have to strip down on any day, or do you ever let yourself cheat?
Oh, I cheat. You have to cheat. I have to cheat. Maybe somebody else doesn't, but I have to cheat. But there is a pressure there. But I have some really cool people in the production office and in wardrobe that give me a heads up.
Oh, okay.
Just tell me the week before. Give me 7 days, and because you know, so they give me a heads up, so I'm not caught out there. One time they got me though, man. They said, "Yeah, you're shirtless." The day we got back from Christmas vacation. I'm like, y'all know I was getting it in.
Did you have a pot belly?
I
Just
did.
kidding.
You're like, hot belly. Wow. I'm
That's what
Steven
happens to me.
Seagal.
That's what happens to me after Christmas.
No, when I had to start exercising immediately over the break, because it's like, oh man. Yeah.
So you are married to your beautiful wife Shay, and you know, a lot of people say that relationships in general in this industry are tough, and every day, you know, you read Us Weekly, you watch E-News, whatever, you're hearing about Hollywood's couples splitting up, even some of the long-standing ones you never expected it from. What is your secret to keeping a successful marriage in this competitive industry? Not even competitive, but what's the word I'm looking for? Distractive industry.
Yes. I would say, and this is something, you know, I'm still growing in. I don't think you stop growing in this, but I think forgiveness and patience has to be part of your character if you want to have a successful marriage. Because, you know, nor husband or wife will be perfect. You know, we're not just going to be perfect. You'll have expectations that won't be met. We're human beings. And the closer you get to someone, the more you expect from them. And if you don't have patience or forgiveness, you know, it's just a ticking time bomb. So I would say those two things are fundamental. Everybody's love each other. You know, everyone's in love,
Yeah.
love. But it's like, okay, what about when this happens? You don't love them today.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes you love them a little less.
I love you, but do I like you? You know, and what happens in those, because that's real. And what
Yeah.
happens in those moments? What do you have to fall back on?
Well, you just go to work, right?
Let's go to work.
You know, you have
God.
your shirtless soap.
You gonna get me in
"Can I have
trouble.
a scene today?"
Well, I'm shooting a scene with so-and-so today, so that's terrible. No, you're probably a great husband.
Yeah.
Right? You know, well, you probably pick up some flowers on the way home. I'm just throwing that out there.
Also, yes,
So,
I will.
but now your wife is also super talented, right? And so
Yes.
she co-owns St. Victor Productions with you.
Yeah, my company. Yeah, that we started it when we started doing stuff. We have another business partner, Trisha Washington, and yeah, she's a singer. We went to acting school together, so we were in the same class. That's where we.
That's
fell
kind
in
of how
love.
you guys
Yeah.
met, or was it?
That's how we met. And when you're in
Aw.
acting school, it's like you see each other's emotions like the second day of class.
Yeah.
So everything was a little, you know, faster.
So, you know, being a couple's one thing, right? But being business partners is something totally different.
True.
So how do you manage that? How do you balance that being couple, you know, being married couple and also working together?
I'm still figuring it out. What I've figured out is, unless I'm asking her about something I wrote on a personal level, like, baby, what do you think? I email her like I don't live with her. Like you know, you're
Like
at
your
home.
business partner.
Yeah. That way, because you know, at one point it was just all day long. I kind of, when I get it in, I work pretty hard, and I'm all day. And she's not. She's like, this is when I work. This is when I'm done.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure out I have to just email her like if she was just, you know, we had a business and she went home to her family and I went home to my family. So yeah.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And so you guys co-produced this movie, The Forgiven.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's a short film. It's about this little girl who's kidnapped. And these guys kidnapped her, hold her for ransom, and one of the guys who kidnapped her kind of looks after her, and he kind of, you know, he feels for this little girl. He has an attachment, and then he's pretty much told that, you know, it's time to kill her. So go downstairs and kill her. And when he goes downstairs and kill her, he's, you know, they're talking, and she's very affectionate towards him. It's like her big brother now, and he knows that he has this gun. He has to put a bullet in her head, and he puts the gun to her head, and because he's gonna do it. And she's like, before he pulls the trigger, she says, I forgive you. And then she prays for him.
Wow.
That after he does this, he's okay and all this stuff. Like, forgive him. You know, he doesn't know what he's doing, but just forgive him. And then she looks at him in the eyes and says, like, okay, I'm done. And puts her head down to get shot. And of course he can't do it. So, and then it kind of ends on that kind of cliffhanger. Like, what are they going to do now?
Yeah.
There's people that told him to kill her, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that was
It's a
really-
romantic comedy.
It's fun.
Yeah. They go get ice cream after. So it all ends well. And so you spend the majority of your career acting in soap operas,
Yeah.
right? And so, I mean, is that where you find yourself more comfortable? You know, like, do you plan to do the transition into the big time movies or stuff like that? Or
Of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely. Like, one of the actors I really enjoy and look up to creatively is James Franco.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he already hit it. He hit it, you know, years ago as far as where he is in his career. But now he makes choices because they creatively fulfill him. So he'll do a short film, or he'll direct a short film, or he'll go to film school. And he even went and did General Hospital.
Yeah.
And because it was
But he had
fulfilling.
a butt double, right?
Did he have a butt double?
Did he? Right?
That's what I hear.
I don't know. But so yeah, so when I look at soaps, I stopped grouping it in a certain category, and I started looking at it as like different forms of expression. You know, because you can get caught up with, you know, I'm on a soap and I want to transition, and it's like, well, did you master this?
Yeah.
Did you master where you are? Because if you're so focused on leaving and you're not mastering where you are, they pay you to master where you are. They pay you to do a good job. And if you're
Yeah.
focused on here, then you're not focused here.
Yeah.
And why should they give you a job there if you can't handle your job here?
Yeah.
You know?
So what has been your biggest highlight in your career this far?
Wow, that's a good question. Being out here, man. Being here right now.
LA.
Being
There
right
you
here. LA.
It all comes back to LA.
Being here on Black Hollywood Live, getting to do these things and talk to creative people and like, you know, this, you know, like
Wow. Well,
years ago, I'd be like, you know, coming up, I'll be like, this is like something I wouldn't even imagine. Like, we're sitting here talking about my career. What?
Yeah.
You know, so this, yeah.
Well, I hope next time someone asks you that question, you could just keep your answer really simple and say Jessica and Nick.
Jessica and
They've
Nick.
been like
What's the highlight of your
quite the
career?
highlight.
Yeah.
Jessica and Nick.
Just saying.
But they'll probably think Jessica Simpson and Nick
Nick
Lachey.
Lachey. I was
They're
just
not
thinking that.
They're gonna be like,
And then it
That's
gets really
true.
weird.
yeah, yeah. Like, they're
Then
not
it
even
gets
white. I don't
really
get it.
Yeah,
Like,
then the
it's-
follow-up questions
it's
just get
solid.
kind of weird. And so you've been in the industry, obviously, now for quite some time. You're doing really well. What are some of your words of wisdom for young adults who want to follow in your footsteps?
I would say go take an acting class. Go take an acting class. Know and figure out if you love it before you make a job out of it. Because, you know, a lot of people, I want to be in the movies. I want to come out here and audition. I'm like, do you even like to act?
Yeah.
You know, acting is hard work. And the more you do it, the more you realize it's hard work. And the more you want something out of yourself and you challenge yourself to give what you believe you should be giving. And if you don't have that in you, if that's not your desire,
Yeah.
like the result, like a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, she's on The Walking Dead. We were at the premiere party last night. And I said to her, like, wow, this is as glamorous as it gets for you, right? She's like, yeah, because, you know, outside of this, they're in Atlanta in the sticks, in the
Yeah.
heat,
Yeah.
running. And then, you know, they're really in the heat. They're really, like, on the grind. It's like shooting a gritty independent film. And it's like, yeah, you like the red carpet and the fact that it's on TV, but will you love being in the
Uprooting
trenches for
yourself,
10
you're-
hours?
Yeah.
You know, will you be able to commit to your character when you are dehydrated, when you're exhausted, when they're spraying you down for ticks?
Ugh.
You know, or if you're on a soap opera, you're on Bold and the Beautiful, and you feel like it's not going the way you want it to go, or you're having a hard time learning your lines, are you going to commit to working throughout the weekend, throughout the week?
Yeah.
You know, you got to figure that out before you make it a job.
Gotta get this work.
Get this work.
So, how do you stay on top of your game in such a competitive industry?
Ah, man, I don't even think about it, dude. I just go.
Yeah.
I just go. I think if you think about it too much, if you think about it as a competitive industry too much, it can get in your head and it can cause you to act and be certain ways that aren't authentic. Because no matter what I do, it's going to be competitive. Whether I'm relaxed and I'm chill and I'm serious about my work, but if I just let it roll off, it's still going to be competitive. And if I obsess about it, worry about it, try to hold on, no matter
Still
what
gonna
I
be
do.
competitive.
So might as well be relaxed. And when I go into rooms and meet people, if I'm relaxed to myself, that's more attractive than somebody who looks like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And how do you keep your skills fresh? You still do classes and stuff, or?
I've been looking for a class. Right now, it's just what I do on Bold. Back in New York, I would do a play once a year. So I'm kind of figuring that out now that I'm in LA, figuring out what do I do here. But honestly, every day on Bold, I give myself an acting challenge.
Yeah,
What am I,
I bet.
accomplish today? Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Well, we like to end our interviews on a high note, and we like to play games.
Okay, I love games.
We're going to test your comic book knowledge, considering that you are the comic book
Buff.
fan,
Oh man,
super fan, super duper duper fan.
super duper fan.
So I'm kind of mad at myself that I made some of these a little easier because I wasn't sure about your extensive
See,
comic
if you
book
start going
knowledge.
into dates, I'm in trouble. I hope you don't.
Oh, we
No,
shouldn't
this is
do
going to be an
that.
easy game. We are going to test your knowledge of superheroes' real names.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Okay.
All right. First things first. Who is, this is an easy one, Tony Stark?
Iron Man.
Okay.
Or Ghostface Killer. Right? Didn't he call himself Tony
Yeah,
Stark?
yeah. Or he was more like Tyrone Stark, but you know.
Was it Tyrone Stark?
Okay, so you can give us the real name, and then Nick will give us the black name for each one.
Yes.
Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Dang.
Yeah, that is a. You can't. Steve Rogers.
Stefan.
You don't want to go Family Matters on him though. Like you know, like Stefan. I don't know. Rogers. That's terrible.
Rogers is hard.
That's
Dick
terrible.
Grayson.
Robin or Nightwing.
He knew both of them. Wow.
That's a
All right,
fan.
Nick. Dick.
Reggie, Robert, Grayson. Grayson could be a black name.
Way
Yeah.
to weasel your way out of that one. Wally West.
Flash or Kid Flash, depends who we're talking about. How old is he?
40.
The Flash.
Wally West.
Yes.
Wally Walls East.
Walls East.
Yeah,
Walls
East.
Walls
East.
East.
Oh
Walls
my
East.
gosh. Okay. Kurt Wagner.
Oh, snap. Kirk
Oh, did we finally
Wagner.
stump you?
Kirk Wagner.
Was he on Bold and the Beautiful or something?
Kurt.
Yeah, he sounds like, it sounds like a, it sounds like,
Wasn't he on
okay. The Atom? No. Blue Beetle? No.
Big Tick? I don't know.
You got me.
Do you have a guess?
The Tick is my guess.
No. Nightcrawler. Oh, Marissa got it. In the booth, they got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, man.
last one.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
John Jacobson.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
John Jacobson. John Jacobson. Isn't he like Spider-Man's boss? That's J. Jonah James.
Yeah, he's not a superhero. That's yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm stumped.
Ah,
I think I'm stumped. Who is he? Who is he? Who
that's good.
is
I totally
he?
made that one up.
Oh, I was like John Jameson. I'm like, dang,
You're getting these
Johnny
too
Walker,
easy.
wait a minute,
I was like, I gotta-
Johnny Walker.
oh, good job. You got
Thank
all
you.
of them except for Nightcrawler.
Yeah, we won't
He
talk
wasn't
about
that big
one.
anyway.
And then there are two on here that aren't even worth saying because they're way too easy.
What were they?
Bruce Wayne.
What would you say? What would you say for Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne. I would say Bruce Wayne, but like with two N's.
Bruce. How about
Bruce
Bruce Lil Wayne?
Bruce Lil Wayne. That works.
I did. Or Bruce Wayne.
Or Bruce Wayne, like the comedian Bruce.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruh man. It would be Bruh man. Bruh man Wayne.
Brotman Wayne.
Peter Parker.
Double P. Just hey, paid.
Big
paid.
Pete.
Like Master P. It'll be paid.
Hey,
Okay.
Big Pete
Make
Parker.
him say, Peter Parker.
See what I deal with every
It's terrible. Terrible. No, can't take me nowhere.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, before we end our interview, we want to give you a little bit of bragging rights. Tell us a little bit about what you have coming up next, some things that you're working on and looking forward to.
Yes, a film I did a couple years ago, My Last Day Without You, that stars Nicole Bahari.
Oh,
Can be seen on
Sleepy
Sleepy
Hollow?
Hollow. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We did a film a couple years ago, and it is out in theaters now in selected cities. I believe it's Atlanta, D.C., New Orleans, Seattle, and I'm missing one. I want to say Chicago. I'm not sure. But if you look it up, if you Google My Last Day Without You, AMC Theaters, it'll pop up.
Very
So
cool.
that's coming out. Yeah. And yeah, that's all I can talk about right now. Yeah.
And every day on the Bold and Beautiful.
And you can catch it on Bold Beautiful, beautiful, CBS.
And we're going to hope to see that future script of Carter somewhere.
Hey,
Great
I just put
storyline.
it out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Just throw it out in the
just
universe.
throwing it out in the universe. See what happens.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Lawrence. It was a lot of fun talking to you.
Thanks for having me. This
Getting
was
to know you.
fun.
Do you feel like we're best friends now?
Absolutely.
Was I right? Or
yes,
was I right?
You're right.
I was right.
Absolutely right.
Always.
Besties,
That's
that's
fine.
weird.
Tell us where we can find you on Twitter. And
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter if you L Saint Victor on Twitter.
is it
And-
spelled out? Or we got to tell our viewers how to spell it.
That's a good question. If you type in Lawrence Saint,
He's like, I'll
it'll
get
come
back
up.
to you
I'll
on
get
that
back to you.
one.
If you type in Lawrence Saint Victor on Twitter, it'll come up as well as Facebook. I'm trying to get into Instagram,
Oh, it's the best.
but I feel like I do that with Twitter.
Just put your shirtless pictures on there and they're like, oh my God.
No.
That's all you gotta do. I
No.
almost did one. I almost did
You
one.
almost did a shirtless
and I was
picture.
about to lose some followers. Well, you know, I probably shouldn't do that.
What got you? What made you feel like it's time?
No, because Soulja Boy walking around with the shirt off and Wiz Khalifa, I'm like, you know, skinny guys with bird chest, they can do it. I should be able to do it too.
Get
I'm
it
like,
in.
I don't have tattoos, so you know, it doesn't work out.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us again. Find me on Twitter at I am Jessica King. And where can we find you, Nick?
All of the internet at the Nick Perdue.
Until next time.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Dario Kristen, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network. If you have questions or comments, tweet us at BHL Online or email us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. For more exclusive content, visit blackhollywoodlive.com. This has been a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network.
Hollywood
Hollywood
redefined.
You say you're gonna cue me?
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.